Do you ever wake up and think, wow, Cris Morena really is the greatest writer and producer of all time? No? Well, do you ever wake up and wonder which Drag Race top 3/top 4 is the most accurate? And furthermore, which of the 11 groups of queens was the most dominant on the show? Well, if you do, you're in luck. Hi, I'm the first ever drag king contestant on Drag Race, Trademark, and I'm here to answer the question of which, you know what we're doing here today. The way that we're going to be looking at this is comparing the top 3 or top 4 queens of each season with the top 3 or top 4 of each season, but stats-wise or performance-wise. What I mean by that is that we're gonna compare the show's placings with the placings the queens would have had they been ranked by their track records. If this is your first time watching any of my videos, I will briefly explain how we calculate a queen's score based on their track record. So, there are 6 ways a queen can be ranked per episode on a regular season. Win, high, safe, low, bottom 2, eliminated. And with these 6 come points from 5 to 0, with the addition that winning a mini challenge earns a queen only 1 point. If you think mini challenges shouldn't be counted towards queen scores, please watch this video on why they should. Each queen earns a certain amount of points per episode. Of course, unless she's eliminated and doesn't win the mini challenge, where she'd get a 0. Then, once we have a queen's overall score, we divide it by the amount of episodes she was in, which is how we get a PPE score, or a points per episode score. And then we just compare. If more than one queen has the same PPE score, we do some other stuff to figure out who did better, but I'll mention that in a bit. Another thing I need to mention is that for seasons 9, 10, and 11, queens also earn points in the last episode, during the lip syncing for the crown. There, the queens that are in the ultimate lip sync earn points the way they would if they were the top 2 of an all-star season. The winner gets 5 points, while the loser or losers, in the case of season 10, get 4 points. The queens that lost in the semi-final lip syncs don't get any points because they were essentially eliminated. For this video, we need 3 different criteria for the best, let's say best top 3 or top 4. First, the top 3 or top 4 of a season have to be the top 3 or the top 4 track record-wise of their season. From then on, they also have to rank in the same way. As in, the winner of the season has to be first, the first runner-up second, the second runner-up third, and in the case of the last 3 seasons, the third runner-up fourth. And finally, we'll look at the dominance of the top 3 or the top 4 over the rest of the queens. We compare the PP score of the third queen with the fourth queen, or fourth and fifth in the case of seasons 9, 10, and 11, and the largest difference wins. As always, we'll do a thorough look into how I'm going to do this with season 1's queens, but also season 9's queens, just because there we are looking at the top 4. I mean, there really is just a minimal difference, but I want to go over it just in case. So, season 1's top 3 were Bibi Zahara Benet, Nina Flowers, and Rebecca Glasscock. Let's see who the top 3 are based on how the queens did on the season. So, in order from first to third, Nina Flowers, Bibi Zahara Benet, and Dongina. As you can see here, not only is the first criteria not met, but neither is the second one. Given that of the 2 queens are in the both top 3s, Bibi and Nina, they are not placed the same, given that Bibi, while winning the season, was not statistically the best competitor on the season. Thus, season 1 is out of running. When it comes to season 9, the top 4 were Sasha Velour, Peppermint, Shea Coulee, and Trinity the Tuck, formerly known as Trinity Taylor. Shea is a place above Trinity because her track record is better than Trinity's. When it comes to the PP score ranking, the queens rank as follows. Sasha Velour, okay, sure, that's the same. Shea Coulee, well, the second place is not the same. With this already being different, we can eliminate season 9's top 4 from this video. Now, there's a counterpoint here. Seasons 9, 10, and 11 have a top 4 rather than a top 3, and at that, those top 4 queens have to place the same way they did originally, which makes their jobs even harder. And that's a fair counterpoint. However, even if we cut off the 4th queen and just look at the top 3, there is no difference, and you'll see that once we finish all 11 seasons. Now that you know how this all works, let's do the rest. Season 2's top 3 were Tyra Sanchez, Raven, and Jujubee. When we look at the queen's PP scores, the ranking goes as follows. Tyra, good. Raven, good, and Jessica. Ooh, close but no cigar. Season 2 is out. Season 3's top 3 were Raja, Manila Luzon, and Alexis Mateo. From the get-go of the PP-based ranking, it's different, cause here we have Manila, then Raja, and then Yara Sofia. This one is even more off than the Season 2 one, so it's out. Season 4's top 3 were Sharon Needles, Chad Michaels, and Fifi O'Hara. This top 3 would have almost made it had it not been for one queen on Season 4, Willam. Given that she was eliminated, or rather disqualified, in the same episode that she won the main challenge, Willam has the highest PP score on Season 4, putting her at the top of the list, but eliminating Season 4 from the running. If you are wondering what any of these queens' PP scores are, you can check out this video. All the links will be in the description. Season 5's top 3 were Jinx Monsoon, Alaska Thunderfuck 5000, oh for fuck's sake, does she go by the full name still? And Roxy Andrews. And so far, this is the first season where the top 3 of the season match with the top 3 when we rank the queens based on their track records. And luckily for us, these 3 queens also rank in the same way they did in reality. So, Jinx and Alaska have the same PP score, and in order to see who's stronger, first we'll look at their overall scores, subtract the points they get from mini challenge wins, and then compare the scores. Given that Alaska won more minis than Jinx, Jinx takes the first place, while Alaska second. A similar thing happened in Season 4 with Sharon and Chad, but we didn't need to go over that just because Willam immediately had that season disqualified from the running. Season 6's top 3 were Bianca Del Rio, Adore Delano, and Courtney Act. PPE-wise, this season's top 3 doesn't even pass the first criteria needed to qualify for the next part of the video, given that, in that case, the top 3 are Bianca, Ben de la Creme, and Adore. Season 7 is more or less the same as the other seasons that haven't qualified. Here, the original top 3 are Violet Chachki, Ginger Minj, and Pearl. While when we look at their track records, the top 3 is a little different. Ginger, Violet, and then Kennedy. If you're wondering why in this season Ginger didn't win, check out this video, again, link will be in the description. Season 8's top 3 are Bob the Drag Queen, Kimchi, and Naomi Smalls. Thankful fucking Lee. They match as the top 3 PP wise, and are ranked the same. We already did Season 9, so we're moving on to Season 10. There, the top 4 were Aquaria, Eureka O'Hara, Cameron Michaels, and Asia O'Hara. When we look at Season 10's Queen's PP scores, the top 4 are Aquaria, good, Eureka, good, and then Asia ruins it. Interestingly enough, PPE-wise, Eureka was also third in Season 9, while on Season 10, the fourth queen is Blair St. Clair. And finally, we get to Season 11. The top 4 in this most latest season are Evie Oddly, Brooklyn Heights, Silky Nutmeg Ganache, and Akira Chanel Davenport. What the fuck is it with these queens and having 3 names for no good reason? The top 4 of Season 11, PPE-wise, are Brooklyn Heights. Oh, god damn it, no need to go further here. If you're wondering how or why she didn't win, watch this video. In short, she couldn't win, she lip-synced for her life twice. And now with all 11 seasons covered, we only have 2 seasons going into the next part of the video. Or rather, only 2 triplets of queens. Season 5's top 3 and Season 8's top 3. Now, we're going to take the lowest placing of the 3, and in this case, those are Roxy and Naomi respectively. Next, we're going to take the 4th placing queens, PPE-wise of course, and compare their PPE scores with the 2 aforementioned queens. The 4th placing queen for Season 5 was Ivy Winters, and her PP score is 3.25. The 4th placing queen for Season 8 is Acid Betty, with her PP score being 3. Now, Season 8 had 2 other queens with this score, and those were Torji and Chi-Chi. However, Chi-Chi won 2 minis, making her PP score the weakest out of the 3. While Acid took less episodes to reach this score than Torji, so she gets the 4th place and Torji the 5th. But I digress. So we have these 4 queens and their PP scores. Because Naomi's PP score has 3 decimals, we'll round up Roxy's to 3 decimals as well. The difference between Roxy's and Ivy's score is 0.295, while the difference between Naomi's and Acid's is 0.375. Given that Season 8's difference is larger than Season 5's, I can with certainty say that Season 8's top 3 is the most accurate top 3 that Drag Race has had so far. Now, I know what some may be asking. Why didn't you include All-Star seasons? Well, I usually try to separate the two, regular seasons and All-Star seasons, but even if they were included, none of the 4 seasons would pass the first criteria, so I just didn't want to bother putting them in. So that's it. That's the video. What's your favorite Ereway song? Honestly, DM me on Twitter or Instagram, because I need to talk to someone about the gorgeousness of songs like Sweet Baby, Bonita de Más, Pretty Boy, Resistiré, Vale la Pena, Rebelde Way, Será de Dios, Para Cosas Buenas, my favorite song of theirs, Dije Adiós, Que Estés y Memoria.